I was having consultations and meetings on behalf of the struggle. Unfortunately, the things we do which are not made public are not considered to be of importance because we've been running this struggle like a struggle for the gallery. Everybody wants to put on a good suit, write strong words, and then come online and then dish them out there. When you don't do that, you are not considered to be working for the struggle. You have to beat your chest and make sure that you send out any information that you could send out as long as you have a mouth. We've been running the struggle for a very long while where we use mostly our hearts and our brains are missing. And by so doing, we no longer have compassion for our people. We think about ourselves. We think about our little ego. We think about the little positions that we handle or we hold behind any individual who is a leader or in any group or movement we belong to. And it has caused a lot of harm to our people. A lot. We've become first in just throwing criticisms, insults, and all whatnot. And we've become last in praising any individual or group that has done anything good for our people. In fact, we have for a very long time been doing about 75% of the work of the enemy. And we have done that so well that if the enemy themselves were not just that satanic, they wouldn't have had any difficulties in having their way through us. But because they are so stupid, they are so satanic, they are so blind, even though they have eyes, they have not been able to use the type of craziness that we have imbued upon ourselves and upon our people. That every time I come here to speak, you have a group of our own very brothers and sisters who are lined up, and all what they are looking for is they're looking for faults, grammatical errors, you are inconsistent, and you ask them what is consistency, they will not be able to explain that to you. People who have no idea on the parameters or the precepts of conflict management or negotiation, they have become champions. And by so doing, they are complicating the situation for our people. We are good in one thing, sharing videos and pictures. And we are also good in trying to justify every crazy thing that is done on the ground. That when a young girl dances with the buttocks and we become so angry, we think that the best thing we should do is just to say, oh, she's a spy. We do what we are condemning the enemy for. We arrest her, we judge her, we execute her. And then we justify it around the world. Oh, you see this girl was dancing like this. We say it in the open. In fact, the women have suffered in this struggle. They have suffered. They have suffered so much. They are being raped. They are being killed. We help turn the land into an abattoir. That's what we do. And some of us who are abroad, who might be ordering some of these things or condoning it, what do we do on Sunday? We carry a big Bible. We go to church. I don't even know what that church stands for any longer. Or we go to the mosque. That is what we have turned ourselves to. Insulters in chief. Our children are dying. They are killing our people every day. Slaughtering them. Turning our entire land into a big graveyard. We are first to point fingers to the international community without asking ourselves, what have we done to encourage this? I came here late. I've been on 7-month quarantine in Ghana. 7 good months on quarantine. I went to Ghana because of this struggle. When it came out, it became a different story. I went to Ghana because I was called up by the government of Ghana because I had a meeting with La Republic. It is my duty to do whatever I think is possible to save those I call my people. And even if the people don't want to be saved, I want to save my own self by making sure that I do not remain a perpetual slave in the hands of a people who have shown every reason that no matter what we do, they will never like us, not to talk of loving us. So today I want to talk to you on 2 things. about the peace they want. And when they look at us, what do they see? These are the two issues I want to talk about, because they are very relevant at this moment, especially when some of us have almost become numb with the killings in our land. We share pictures. It is so normal. I don't even think life would ever come to normal. I want to be frank to you. I don't think life would ever come back to normal. It is my duty to come here and encourage each one of you in this struggle. But it is equally my duty and responsibility to speak truth the way I see it and the way I feel it. It might not be the way you look at it. It might not be the way you see it. It might not be the way you feel it. It might not be the way you are able to entertain it. But it is the way I see it. You might not like it, but the truth is there. That I have been in this for 35 years. And some of you have asked, for 35 years, what have you shown? Oh yes, I've shown one thing. I've shown steadfastness. And that's why I'm still alive. I've showed steadfastness. I do not hide my face. I do not hide what I do. And one thing I've always told you people, I will not do things because I want any one of you to give me money, or I want people to support me tomorrow. No. I will do what my conscience tells me is right. I've never been a follower of individuals. I follow principles, I follow ideas. I look at them, I judge them. I ask whether they are good enough. Not just for me, for my neighbor. And my neighbor could be you who's watching me. Could be even insulting me. Could be you who have misunderstood me, misrepresented me, and misquoted me several times. Because that is what I'm supposed to answer. I just discovered my brother is here watching me. He can tell you people a little bit about me. Never tell. In human history, the worst you can do to a human being is to quote him or her, misrepresent his or her position, as misinterpret what they stand for. That is exactly who people are. You find a good number of them. They come online. You use fake names. You're not bold enough. Say what exactly you want to say. But you are bold enough to throw insults, to say things which makes no sense. That is what you have done. And you know why? Because the only place you know about this struggle is first. That is all. You don't know what is around the world. Look at Syria. Look at Syria, my people. They have slaughtered hundreds of thousands of people. Who cares about Syria? How many times do you see images of Syria on CNN, BBC any longer? Do you see that? Look at Yemen. Do you know the atrocities? The bombardments from the air. Who talks about it? Who cares? Or the African Union even held a single meeting to talk about the fate of these young men and women. In other words, why can't you people, a good majority of people, see and reflect and realize that if we are going to get what we want, we cannot do it as if others have not done it before. We should learn from others, learn from their errors, and make sure we don't do the same thing. Why should we turn this struggle to become a struggle on who can speak, who can go and memorize words to come and say them, who dresses on well, who has a big car and a big house, who is an activist and who is not an activist. There is something they call skin in the game. The vast majority of you people don't have skin in the game. Place for relaxation. Maybe it's once or twice a week where you can come in and throw insults or help others to throw insults. You don't ask yourself, what do we do to bring this dreaded tarantula to the negotiating table? If we do not like this process, what other process do we have out there that we can bring? Do you people think we are going to fight in perpetuity? Oh yes, there is no doubt. There is no doubt. The greatest error La République du Cameroon has made is to make sure we arm ourselves. When you arm civilians, you should know one thing is certain. The impossibility of taking those, especially when you arm people who are prepared to die for what they know is right. You can't take it away from them. When they look at us, yes, I'm very sorry. I'm in a foreign country where the network is not within my control. I am sure that when I speak to you people sometime next week, it will be far better. But this is a message I can't hold back without bringing it to you people. There are many of you in La République du Cameroon who have accused us for starting war to destroy our country. I have no apology for that. There are even many of you who call yourself today Ambazonians who had personally accused me for trying to take vengeance on La République for what they did to me as an individual. I have no apologies for that. But always remember that vengeance is not of me. It's of our forefathers and is of God. One thing that most of us have not been able to ask that is why are we. The only reason we are fighting, and we have been fighting for so many years, is because we want peace. And what exactly is peace? Peace is not to live in perpetual fear. Your inability to speak out. You are being hurt and you are being caged and you are unable to talk because you think the repercussion will be terrible. When already what you are facing is worse than even speaking. It is our consistent search for peace. Our ability to die rather than stay in a situation where fear will control our entire life. That compels us under difficult circumstances with nothing in our midst to go to war against Goliath and his likes in La République du Cameroon. We did not go to war because we want to take over Unity Palace in Yaoundé. We don't give a damn about that. We do not go to war because they give us the position of a prime minister who says head of government, who himself cannot even appoint his secretary of his cabinet. We do not go to war because the secretary general at La République's presidency has powers more than his president, his prime minister, or that of his speaker. No. We didn't go to war because we are angry that there is Brother Diongute and others who are enjoying. So we want them to be removed for us to become the new Diongutes. That is not why we are worrying. No, not at all. We did not go to war because we are angry that they have 10 our traditional custodians who are there through bloodlines, who are there through culture. But today, they have created a system where they become chiefs and fawns, almost as if they needed to be paid salary from those who use them as proconsuls. We did not go to war because we want to know every Basa girl and every Eton and every Ewondo or Bulu girl. That want bread and sardine, as they do in their schools, to have sex with them. I have to be very open. That is the culture. It's not us. We equally do not go to war for crumbs. No. If there is any one of you who is going to war, or who went to war, or who is involved in this war, which is a war of necessity, that you are involved in it because you wrote an entrance into ENAM and they cheated you, or you wanted to become a student journalist through asthma and you were rejected. If there is anyone who is in this particular war because you are a teacher, that you went to Yaoundé to chase documents so that they can pay what you people call in French, I don't know what it means, I don't know the English equivalent to it, gros loup, that is why you are fighting, because they could not pay you, then you are fighting the wrong war. It's the wrong war. We do not go to this war because we want regionalism. That no, we just want to separate from La Republique. Let them create us a small area and tell us a special status. No. If that is what any one of you is involved in, I, Akwanga, APLM and Sokadev, that is not why we are at this war. And that is not why even in 1997, we carried out arms to liberate ourselves. We do not go to war because there is a conflict between Église Presbyterian du Cameroon and the Presbyterian Church in Cameroon. We did not go to war because we want the Catholic Church to appoint a new cardinal, because we no longer have confidence in what Cardinal Christian to me is doing, because we think he is not serving man than the very God he was involved in. Oh yes, we know he's equally a Southern Cameroonian, and no matter what happens in our land, his clock does not. We do not go to war because we want a gypsy port in Victoria, or we want a wharf in Tico, or we just want to restore the Bisonga, the Bali, and Tico airports. If any of you is in this is the wrong war you are involved in. We went to war for one thing, and that is what nobody will ever refuse. We are looking for peace. The peace we have never ever enjoyed. Whether it is peace from Calais, whether it is peace from whatever reason, it is because we want peace. And when we will have that real peace, every other thing that we want will come to play. We went to war because we want peace. We want peace where we can again feel like humans. We can feel that we can argue, we can debate, we can fight politically, but we must always find a way out. We do not want the type of peace that will make us the law enforcement, the judge, the jury, and the executioner. The type of peace which has been given to us, which we call a temporal negative peace. In one of my last meetings with the late Honorable Dr. Jongu Foncha at his residence, we discussed about the importance of us to change course and pick up arms, which the late Pa Foncha was not buying into. But sympathized with us. Because we were the young men who could see what, even if he climbed up a tree, he would not see what was coming. And our goal was simple. We just want to be left alone. We want peace. So all these accusations that are out there, it is in our quest for peace that we are even fighting ourselves. Yes. Our quest for peace have made some of us to turn against one another. So while we are seeking peace, Yaoundé too is telling us that they are seeking peace. So now this is the question. What type of peace do we want? And what type of peace is Yaoundé looking for? This is $1 million question. And that is why people are compared, both sides are compared to come to what they call a negotiating table, where the real peace has to be mapped out. Because the peace I really want, I cannot assure you that it's the same peace Yaoundé want. But I will equally not tell you that there are not people in Yaoundé who truly want peace. But probably not the same peace I'm looking for. You see, we are Ambazonians. If you put all of us on the negotiating table with La Republic, you'll be surprised with what people will be asking for. What will be the goal of what they actually want as individuals? But they will tell you this is what they want for Ambazonia. That is the complexity of human nature. We want peace. How do we think we are going to achieve this peace? How do we think we'll achieve it? And how does Yaoundé also think they will achieve their own peace? That they will gun their way to the type of peace they want? Oh yes, their own peace easily goes with guns. But actually they don't even achieve the peace they are looking for with the same guns. Brother Dionkute knows this. All of these fake men and women who are passing around and answering yes sir, yes sir, they know these things. That you can't achieve peace like that, my people. And peace is not how tenacious or how extremist you are. After all, we all know the greatest extremist that has ever existed in that land you call the Cameroons is Mr. Biya. He has never changed from his position of not recognizing that they have dehumanized us, thingified us, persecuted us, and enslaved us. Extremism is to take a position, stick to it, and be prepared to die for it. That is why everyone knows that Jesus Christ was an extremist for love. Satyagraha was an extremist philosophy practiced by Mahatma Karamchand, which the late Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. refined and used it in the United States in a typical civil disobedience manner. We tried it once in the University of Boya. It worked for the first batch. But all other batches that came forward, they could not succeed with it. They tried. It failed. We know how many students lost their lives. How many were arrested. Some were abandoned university studies. So you should be able to know that carry the guns, you should ask yourself, what is my end game? Yaoundé's end game might be to kill their way to peace. They will not succeed. That one is certain. Between you and me, what is our own end game? What is our end game? To throw insults? Is that our end game? Let me tell you something. The reason we are looking for this peace is because a true citizen of La République du Cameroun, let me be frank here, this is not about Biya. This is not about all these henchmen from the Fang tribe. This is not about the Bamlekis conniving with him in Yaoundé. The Bassas, those from the north. No. This is not about our own brothers and sisters, are typical of joining hands with him to do what they are doing to us. This is about how they see us. Who are we to them? How do they see us? How do they see us? Do we think these people look at us human enough before they treat us this way? What will reduce a human being to look at the other one as a cockroach? When people look at you at any time and all that they see is that you are a threat to them. Every action you take threatens them. You say you want multipartyism, threat. You want to march on the streets because you think it's your God-given right, threat. Every little action you make is seen as a threat. What will you expect from them? What will you expect? There are many of you who come and say, oh, Dr. Akwanga has abandoned the struggle. He's no longer coming online. No, you do not liberate a people through Facebook and WhatsApp. I can assure you that if Facebook and WhatsApp was there at the time when the SPLA had to fight 2 civil wars, Southern Sudan would never have become South Sudan. If Facebook and WhatsApp was there, the East Timorians will not today have Timor-Leste as a country of their own. Facebook are the least who have a skin in the game in this struggle. Some of them have now, instead of using Twitter to drum our case, they're using Twitter as an attacking ground. They have shifted from Facebook to WhatsApp to go to Twitter now to start attacking other Ambazonians. You find thieves, rogues, even murderers who are trying to cover their tracks by attacking others and giving them names. Some of you will get angry. I don't come online, always, again. It is as if all the advice I have come online and given I speak like you. I don't look like some of you. I will say it the way I see it. Well, that's the way it is. I can only talk and do what I'm capable of doing. I cannot force anyone to do what I think is the right thing to do. But there is one good thing in all of this. That Yaoundé do not see only one person as a threat now. All of us are a threat. First was Akwanga. But before Akwanga, it was Albert Woma Mukom. There were people who were scared of talking to me that I was associated to Albert Woma Mukom. And there were people who became scared of talking to Akwanga. Anybody associated to Akwanga, they did not want to have anything to do with Akwanga. Today is all of us. Every one of us is seen now as a threat. That is who we are. And that is the good thing. That is the good thing. It's not me alone. It's not you alone. But we should be able to ask ourselves, when we dig ourselves and take an extremist position, between us and Yaoundé, who is supposed to move to the table? Us? Yaoundé? Both sides? Who are those losing? I'm posing this question to everybody. You can reason it your own way because we can be twin, we can be triplets, but we don't have the same brain. In this war, who are those losing? Has Yaoundé shown that they care about us? When we fight ourselves, they give a damn? How many people talk about going to school? I was speaking to a UN official 2 days ago, and he told me 80% of schools in Amazonia are still locked down. 20%. And we are not even sure fully 20. How many years? He talks about it. I had a meeting with the UN a few days ago. A very intense meeting. Why in Accra? On the way forward and what to do. Which I can't discuss the details here. I wasn't there alone. I was there with my team. And we were discussing on how to chart the way forward. We are fighting for peace. That peace is for who? For the children. And the children who are yet to be born. In simple matters that we can come together behind the scene. We no longer do that. Some of us don't want us to call the names of others. We draw daggers and all whatnot. Huh? It becomes a matter of Savaki Mayadit and his opposite rival. Who have tossed South Sudan between the Dinkas and the Nues as if no other tribes exist. We have reached a level where the cutting of people's head no longer mean anything. We take a knife. We cut a human's head. We put on a stick. We take the body and bury it somewhere beside the water. A human being. Do you know why when you kill somebody in the bush, even after 20 years, even if nobody was there, you yourself will come out and say you did it? Because human blood is not the blood of a chicken or a dog. I have told Colonel Bamkwi and his team that they are going to pay for everything they have done in our land. This I can assure you that they will pay for it. It is not just the issue of an international war crimes tribunal, no. They and their descendants will pay. Anybody who descends from that family and any other family perpetuating this evil, I can assure you, read my lips, they will pay for it. Unfortunately, when they start paying for it, which some are already paying, it will not be easy for them to tell you that this is what is happening to them. But some stories will come out. You don't do these things and get away with it. You do not. You do not. We have used years and months quarreling and fighting. Everything for us is propaganda. I had a meeting, I had a frank discussion with Ayuta. He called me for the first time. I told him I'll call him back because I've been in prison works. And when it was the appropriate time, I gave him a call. And we spoke frankly. I did not say I would not talk to him because he was calling me for the first time and there was a reason why I called. I spoke with him because my brother. After all, don't we have brothers who fight one another for their father's property? They kill. Don't we have it? Some even kill and take their brother's wife. They take everything. Don't we have sisters who do that? So we stop pretending. I talk to him. But I take sides in the madness that is in prison, which is those things. And I told him, because when Yaounde approached me and they said they want to talk to him, what do I think? I said, go talk to him. Talk to any Ambazonian you feel you can talk to. The one thing you should know is you cannot negotiate with us separately. It is going to be us as a team. But the ability to talk to people is not a time. So when people walk and they say, oh, who gave him powers to talk to Eko? Who did this? That is the error we are making. We are not all in one basket. Not everybody is a Sokadefia. Not everybody is an APLM. So I'm not going to stop somebody who is being approached by the state party that don't talk. The only thing you should know is you should hold yourself and know that the only reason they're approaching you is because of the struggle. They're not approaching you because you are Dr. This or Mr. This or Miss This or Mrs. This. So when you are talking, Remember that you don't speak for yourself, you speak for millions of people who might be on the same road with you, but you are compelled to speak on their behalf. And people who have no clue about conflict management and resolution, people who are imbued with so much hatred, they saw it differently. But many of you, if you were in a position, you have taken my discussion with the community, and you come online and put everything in public, and then you beat your chest. I spoke with him. We are talking. We are doing this. How will that help the struggle? How will that help the struggle? How will that help? I left Ghana in December. In Ghana, in December, I pick up my phone. I call my comrade brother in Norway and ask him where he will be in Christmas. This past December, he told me he will be around. And I informed him, I am coming to Norway to see you. That is what I said to my brother. He's my brother. We might not be in talking terms. As I've said, brothers fight and kill one another. We know that. We know that. We have seen it time and again in Africa. Even as I speak, there are many of you who are watching me, who in your family, you don't talk to one another. Some of you have actually killed some people in your family. Some of you don't even want to talk to others. You are still planning to kill them. You don't agree on anything. Maybe your parents even left nothing. You are fighting and destroying yourself for nothing. For every issues. So what about the struggle? I called my brother. I'm coming to see you in Norway. My brother did not tell me come. He said, come over. I'll be there. I did not surprise him. I took my son, Leona Spencer Nembumeke Akwanga Jr., who was happy that he's going to Norway to see his uncle. I flew to Norway. I told nobody in ACK, because there are people in ACK who never allow me to go to Norway, because I understand their thinking, but I think differently. I don't have enemies in this struggle. I have different positions. If I'm angry with you, I will not stop telling you what you have done to me that has got me angry. But that will not mean I will keep that anger in me that I want to kill you. Because if I want to kill, these people will not need to go to prison. I would have gathered everybody, comrade, everybody, deceive them, bring them to Nigeria, and get a bullet for everybody's forehead. I would have done that, as they do it in times of liberation struggles all over the world. But that is not my goal. Because it will not serve any purpose. You might succeed in the short run, but you create enemies for the lifetime. You want to take power? You take power that you never want it, and you mess up the land and mess life of your people. I flew to Norway. Arrived in Norway. What happened in Norway? I checked into a hotel. The cold was more than 100 degrees. I have the videos and the pictures. I don't know what new. It was getting cold. I am an old person. I am older than my brother in Norway, at least by 1 year. He followed me. I did not follow him. I went to Norway to see him. I kept aside all the madness that is out there. The attacks, the insults from both sides, whether they were people from his side or people from my side. I said, for the good of this struggle, I will go to Norway. It is for me to sit and ask, have you forgotten where we are coming from? Do you understand who we are? Do you think there's a woman, a man, or a child, or a young man, or woman, or whosoever who can come between you and me when the people are concerned? I went to Norway. What happened? It was like you go to somebody's house to visit him. The person entered either under the bed to hide or jumped through the window and run away. My brother refused to see me or talk to me. Let's be frank. He refused to see me or talk to me. That was December. I've never spoken about this. I was talking to another brother, Agboderic. Agboderic became an emissary between me and someone who sits and eat me. I cook rat mo. They go catch rat mo. I kill it. I cook that rat mo. I eat with this brother I'm talking about. In my 16. All of those things flash away within a twinkle of an eye. Because we are fighting for a truth that does not exist. That he is fighting for power, and I am stopping him not to get that power. So I'm fighting for it that he should be my landlord. That is the story they're saying. That no, I want to pull him down so that he should be my landlord. No, I don't do that. When he was working for his doctorate, he did not tend to any of these individuals who are running around him and spreading all types of lies. He turned to me. It is me and him who knew the topic, who worked together, who knew what he was doing. Nobody knew about it. I never spoke about it because that is the relationship I create with people. We have gone through tooth and nail. That we argue and fight, but we have to understand the greater good is for our people. I, Akwanga, older than you, took my son, flew up to Norway in December under biting cold. And what happened? Members of his delegation said, before I come to him, I must pass through his chief of staff, me, Akwanga. Somebody come to a house, your mother or your brother wants to come see you, and then your wife said, you cannot come here into my house without taking permission or calling me over the phone. You, the husband, when you come back, what will you do to your wife? You stop my mother not to enter this house because she not call over the phone and say she's coming? Or you act like the white people to say, no, she was right, we're supposed to call so that we make provisions for you. In Africa, provisions are always there at all times. For any relative of us, whether they knock at 2 a.m., you open the door for them. That is Africa. Even if you are as angry as what, you face them. I expected my brother to face me. Me and him, without any third party, to speak to me the truth, to tell me where he thinks I went wrong. I should be able to correct him in my own way. And then my son was happy to see his uncle, discover his uncle became a runaway. And then what was the justification? Some came and said, oh, he could not see you because he is afraid that when you will be with him, you will record it. If you are going to speak the truth with me, why are you after that I'm going to record? If you come and have a meeting with me and then you go and tell people a different story, I have to protect myself. I need to record you. But I don't put it out there so that tomorrow you don't pass a different message to people out there. That is what I do. I speak with Comrade Julius. He talks to me, I talk to him. I record it. But I will never put it out there. So that if he goes out and said, I said this thing to Dr. Akwanga, he said something, I will call a few people and say, this is what I discussed with Comrade Julius. That is the way I work because I have been in this struggle for too long. You don't know them. So I will leave and go to Norway. Come into your fear. I did not come to the United States to meet me. I flew into Norway. And this is a good thing. Before I went to Norway, I had a meeting with a member of the State Department in the United States. These are things I've kept secret. Because in diplomacy, you don't throw everything. The United States was trying to work out, broker something where they would bring all ambassador leaders, me and that my brother first, we were to Ireland. So that they asked me where should they go to. I said we should go to Ireland. The Irish have had a similar problem. Take everybody, they just the leaders. Not everybody is a leader. You don't come and act because you can have 20,000 supporters who follow you or people who follow you online means that you become a leader. No, that's not a leader. So that we can sit and talk to one another and we'll discover that we really have nothing against one another. That all of these things is the people who are surrounding us. And when we are weak as leaders, we allow others to manipulate us. We don't think on our own. We don't look at the past, the present, and think of the future. I went to Norway. Spent 2 nights. The only thing I received was a telephone call through Agoderic. My husband said that he will not be able to see him. My husband said that he will not be able to see him. You were not able to. I should come. I did not go to Norway without telling you. Oh, they were scared that maybe I was working for Russia, so I brought polonium to kill him. Me, Akwanga. I brought polonium. Probably that is what they were suspecting. Because to argue that somebody will not see somebody you say he should come, do not stop him. It would have even been better telling me, no, bro, don't come. I'll be on holidays with my family. I will understand. The reason I'm saying this is to tell you the difficulties we go behind the scene to try to make sure things work. and how people are taking unnecessary positions. I don't know what they think they will gain. They will not take the doctorate degree I have. They will not check who I am. If I'm ugly, they will make me handsome. If I'm handsome, they will not tell me ugly. If I speak stupidly, they will not make me to speak wisely. If I speak wisely, they will not tell me from speaking stupidly. All this, we are all saying we are fighting for our people. But who are the people we are fighting for? But even when we want to meet behind the scene, some of us are still playing the extremist role, still refusing to meet one another. How do we succeed? How do we succeed? Okay, I am Comrade Julius. So if he sent me a signal, more than 5 people came to me that he needed my number. To get my number, I would have just told him, please don't give my number to him. Because since he went to prison, until I spoke with him of recent, we have never spoken. We have never spoken. It is once I ever spoke with him in Nigeria, where he promised that he wants us to have a meeting in the evening in Abuja. A meeting that never took place. I did everything to have that meeting until I left Nigeria. He never met with me. And that was just after he has met this, my brother. He wanted to meet with me to talk with me. He never met with me. I had every reason to be angry as a human being. First, he met me in this struggle. So I'm older in this struggle than him. But I took myself down because this struggle is not about just freeing Akwanga. It's freeing everybody. He said, bro, I want us to talk. I said, okay, let me find time and talk with you. That is how I responded to him. Is he not my brother? I could be as angry as I am with him. He is my brother. Because brothers use knife, they dagger one another. I know that. Some of you watching me here, you have been victims to this, either through your family or you yourself has hurt other family people. So it will not be different in the struggle. It will not be different. Balikumba, Bafanji, we know the problems that are there. We see these things every now and then. So you people should be very careful. Those of you who are behind us, whether you are chief of staff, you are secretaries or what to leaders, you are responsible for the chaos in the struggle. You are misleading some of these leaders who are not strong enough. Remember, God did not create us all the same. There are some people who need others to stand with them for them to succeed, to propel them. There are others who don't need any person. They can stand on their own to do what they want to do. And if there is a leader who needs you to stand beside him or her, to help them do something that will better you, better them, and better others, and your goal is to drag them down, to give them bad advice, then my other brother will come and tell me that my brother in Norway, I can talk to him through him. It's to show you the level of banality, madness in this struggle. If I die today, will anything? Is my brother in Norway going to take anything from me? Or vice versa, if it is him? Where have all these people come from? Some will tell me that, Chairman, it's only you and your brother who can solve the problem. No, that's the problem with my brother when you people are in between. You are giving wrong advice. And being who he is taking it from you people. And that is what goes with every leader out there. Does any of you know that I and Comrade Yerima can even communicate? Does any of you online know that Comrade Yerima can communicate with me? Go ask Comrade Yerima whether he has come to communicate with me. I insulted him. Go and ask him. I do not have enemies. Even those who insult me here every day. Children whom I fought for. I abandon my own education for their own good. They come online, they throw me insults, they call me all types of names. It's not a problem. Some say you are an old man. Some of you should be happy you will never reach my age. I'll be 50 this November. Some of you, may God forbid, you will not reach 50. So old age is not luck. You work for it. You take care of your health. You try to be as good as possible. Not perfect, because only God is perfect. So they don't buy old age. You work for it, my people. It doesn't just come unnecessarily. You don't work for it, you will never reach that old age. Don't think that it just come. No, you take care of it. These are the problems we are facing. They say when something spoils in a country, it is bad advisors. That is why when a house is no longer going well, unfortunately, at times, most often it is wrong. They're accused by the woman. Oh, how is that house going to find? Because he's got a very bad wife. It's a very wicked woman. She wants to take everything only for herself and her family. Maybe that woman is not even giving anything to her family. Maybe it's only for herself. She wants to buy jewelry and the rest. It is her. At times, it's not even the woman. It is that the man is so wicked that he's hiding his wickedness behind the woman. His inability to develop the ability to give to his own people, to others. It's not as if it is the woman. The woman is always the accuser. Unfortunately, the woman will always be responsible where it doesn't work. I don't say women don't do that. But there are men who are actually responsible in creating this chaos. That is the same problem we face in this struggle. That is the same problem. We talk big, we raise funds. How many times have you people seen me, Dr. Akwanga, Ebenezer Derin Bongo Akwanga, Bongo Moluta, comes online and I'm making fundraiser that you people should come and contribute money, give it to me. I need to go buy iron or buy this. Am I fighting to liberate my land? My homeland? My father's property? It is because some of you people are cursed. You even give us money that we don't know where it comes. We take that money, we invest into it. It looks as if it goes down there and start killing our sons and daughters. Because you come with a very bad heart. Very bad heart. And every time I come, you are only looking for fault. Oh, doctor, you were not supposed to say this. You were supposed to say this. How do you tell me what I should say and what I should not say? Especially when you have people that you talk to them, they don't want to listen. But when they don't see you online, they are grumbling that you are not coming online. You have sold a struggle. Between you and me, I keep asking, who will sell this struggle? Do you people think there is anybody in La République du Cameroon that can change my mind? There is any money they can give me that will come into my pocket and I will start speaking with the other part of my mouth that I don't want freedom? How many of you here with me have La République passports? I've never had one before. You've had passports, you've put visas there. I've never had one. Because they themselves knew I did not qualify for one. So the first Ambazonian was me. It's me. They rejected me and turned me into one. Before all the other atrocities, just smoothing everything. We have a heart. Some of us have developed an attitude. I used to be very intransigent. When I was very intransigent, my brother was the one who was the karma. So they would see me like the very extremist person. And he was the one who talks sweet talk and do things well. And now it is like vice versa. I have become the understandable one who people can approach. And he has become the monster that everybody thinks that he's that monster they see. No. Intransigence at times have his own role. Yes. There are times that some of the extremist positions he takes are good. Because it sends a message to the enemy. But when that extremism begins to go without control, it becomes a danger to him and to the rest of us. This is reality. You can like it, you can hate it, you can go online later on and insult me, any of you. You can make your Facebook post and the rest. I'm just telling you people the difficulties we go through. I came back and there were people in Aku asked me, Chairman, why did you take that decision? Why should you do this? I said, no. Nobody decides for me. When I started this struggle at the age of 14, I did not take permission from anybody, not even my father or my mom. When I know something is good for our people, I will do it. I'm not going to sit and ring a bell and call the traditional council to say, do you people give me permission to go do this? I will do it. Before you people came into this struggle, this is the way I've been doing it. Now I do it, I come back and even report. You don't pay my flight. You don't pay my hotel. What is your problem? What's your problem? If you don't trust me, you will trust nobody. Because there is no one of us who passed out here as a leader who has not been accused for being a traitor, for being a thief, for being anything that you people want us to be. There is no one. So at the end, if everybody has been accused, then there is nobody who is either a leader or nobody actually is a traitor. That is what it means. There is no one. Every one of us have been given a tag. Everyone. I mean every one of us. Call me one person you call who is passing around as a leader that you have not accused them. Some are being just accused that because they married from the other side. So some people want them to kill their wife and kill all their children. But remember, Atanganji is not from the other side. He's slaughtering our people. So it doesn't mean because you marry from the other side means you should go kill your wife and kill everybody. There are people from the other side who are far better than some of us, who are 100% Southern Cameroonians, Ambazonians. You can even trust them and die with them and sleep with them and close your two eyes. There are Ambazonians that you don't even need to close one eye and leave the other one open. Open the two eyes and sleep all night. Because they will hack you in the night without you even feeling it. Before your body will realize the head would have gone off. I've said it before. We think, why is God not listening to some of our prayers? This is our own 40 years in the desert. It is our heart. The things we do. The lies we tell. The stuff we do for nothing. Everything in this world is vanity, my people. Everything. Even this peace we are looking for is the only thing we can achieve where you and me can sit together and ask ourselves that why were we fighting over nothing? Come together and say, listen, no matter what happens, we are one people. We are one. I cannot sit there and say, if I am not the one who is going to be president, if I'm not the one who calls for this meeting, if I'm not the one who is leading it, nobody is going to be in it. It must fail. Then who am I? How will you describe me at that time? How will you describe me? We say things, we throw things out there, we put this one there, we only try to divide people the more. Make sure they are at parallel ends. Today we have created all types of fake groups. Every little individual wants to create their own little group. They are thinking that negotiation is coming. They want to come to the table. Do you people think we are going to organize a Portuguese parliament of negotiation? Everybody is a leader. Everybody comes up. You guys will go and do that type of job when La Republique calls the national conference. Not on this issue of a negotiation between Ambazonia and La Republique. It's not going to happen. It will not. Read my lips. I know many of you people will say, get out there, Dr. Akwanga. As long as I'm alive, it will not happen. Read my lips. Our people are suffering. We have the zeal, the capacity, the know-how to free them. We have instruments we are not using because we are not listening. We are not listening. We have refused to listen even when we pretend that we are listening and we have ears. We watch and see the danger coming. We march towards it every now and then. And then when it doesn't work, we turn and say it is leader A or leader X who is responsible. It is us. You watching me. Ask yourself the role you have played in taking those people whom you follow as your leaders. How you've deceived them. How you've told them to stand on their position. How the whole notion of Ambazonia is not even set on your own calendar. Now you tell me, if these people hate us so much, that they see us only as a threat, and therefore the type of peace they are looking for is a peace that will make them take control of that threat that they see, not a peace that threat will be turned to humanity, and humanity will be respected as it is supposed to be done all over the world. You tell me in that situation that the other side sees you as a threat and therefore seeks a peace that will keep you away from being a threat but not from achieving real peace. And instead of you working for peace, you are working for pieces. Some of us have become so weak. We don't need to talk to this one. We need to talk to this. We need to talk. Do you think that if you are a leader, you know who you are and what you stand for? Do you know what it means when you tell the other side or an enemy exactly the way you are thinking? Let them go back and know that they are not going to change you. You run away from talking to people. Oh, I will not talk to this until this happens. Some of us are even ordering the United Nations General Assembly to take decisions. Decisions that even Syria has not been able to do. Eh? We order them. If they don't do this, they don't do that, we will not do this. Just imagine that I come out and say, I don't trust the African Union. If the African Union doesn't make a statement, or this and that, we are going to bomb Addis Ababa. Or if the African Union doesn't say this or say that, we will never be involved in any process. Who wants peace? Yaoundé is not looking for peace. It's you and me looking for peace. The peace that will make us take care of our own lives. The peace that will make us know that we can quarrel, we can fight, we can argue, but we are one people. The peace that we can take daggers on one another, but there will be one rallying call, one person who will be compelled to bring us under one roof and talk to us. I remember when my mother died and there was very big problem in my family. My maternal aunt that many people do not know, who was a staunch baron of the system. My own maternal aunt in Munya. That many do not know. Mama Ruth Ndando spoke to me over the phone and said, Mola, just leave it. When you come back home one day, no matter how long, you can take your mother or your brother's body and bury them where they had asked you to bury them. For now, you are out there, so do not take this fight. You'll be wasting your energy for nothing. My own mother died. After how many years? I returned. I took her from where she was, and I buried her where I wanted her to rest forever. That's my auntie, Ruth Ndando. Oh yes, you might not know. I have a relationship with Victoria Tomed Ndando, whom many of you knew. I'm related to that family from the mother side. I come from Bomboko. The people who danced in Njoko behind the mountain. I'm a proud Mokwe. As much as I don't speak the language, nobody will take that away from me. That is who I am and that is where I grew up. Even my father's people know that. So, the question I'm asking before I will go out of here is, what type of peace do we want? And if we actually know the peace we want, do we think La République du Cameroon cares about this peace? There are things I don't want to say here because I'll be giving in something aside. But I'm telling you that you should stop going to church, carrying your Bible or doing what you are doing. If you carry these silly things and put in your heart, you decide to keep things and don't do them. And you give some justification which makes no sense. There are people who came and met me, talking to my brother, who met us, who even came and militated with me before they shifted to his own camp. I tell them I need to pass through them, take permission. If I'm taking permission to reach him, to talk with him, then which permission am I going to get to reach there? They must have cut off my hands and my legs. That is it. That you have to take permission. How many people have you heard? You've heard this thing like some gossip online. People are just throwing it. I'm not giving all the details. But this is the embarrassment and this is the type of thing that is going on in this struggle. We stand on high horses. High horses. High horses. We no longer have culture to respect. Our traditions are broken. To some of us, it's gamesmanship. Talk big, dress big, look big, talk grammar, frown, make your face look very stiff. Let them know that you are a strong man. No. Strong people are those who smile while they are killing you. They are not those who make their face hard. That does not make you a strong man. A strong man will always smile while he's sending you to God. Hey, doctor, these people are tired me. What are we going to do? What have you done? What have you done to rally the people? What have you done to bring them together? What have you done to make all these people who are spreading all this news? You've created all types of fake televisions online. You don't use it to go after the enemy. You use it to go after one another in the struggle. So you are now becoming subset of CRO TV. You are doing the job of CRO TV. If it's not Dr. Akwanga today on Headline News, it is my brother in Norway on Headline News. It's the other one who is in the other television on Headline News. And these are the people. These are the people. Oh. You've not yet gotten the country. Eh? CRO TV is not even paying you people. You are doing that job. I can inform you people that Dr. Akwanga was. This one have said that Dr. Akwanga. Hey, they want to see on Sunday they have put on suit. I'm going to church. I'm going to church. Courage, brother. They are singing in church. Stand up for Jesus. Some are even mass boys. Some will tell you they are doing 7 days fasting. They are fasting with who? For who? They are praying to who? Because I don't get it. You are praying to who? When the people doesn't count. When you cannot sit and realize that at the end of the day, all this unnecessary power we are making does not serve a purpose if we don't get what we want. So you are fighting with who? Look at young men who were just taken away 2016 from whom 5 years. They have not even gone to the military tribunal. They are all over the place. All of this is for what? You find small boys who will just be insulting people who are more than 10, 15 years older than them. Because you are in the struggle. Then you are expecting blessing. You will get cursed. Don't think it's only your parents who will curse you. When you go after somebody who is actually playing with a plain mind, and that individual says something about you, will come after you. I don't talk anyhow. My life has proven to me that God always uses people who are imperfect, because I'm a typical example of an imperfect person being used by God. I don't carry the Bible on my forehead. But I'm asking you people every day when you go to sleep, what are you thinking? We've destroyed. We go in there and fight ourselves. Come to Batibo, do the same thing. Look at Mundani now. Every village, they cannot run it. The Mundani people have turned it to a CPDM politics. They are killing one another, burying some alive in Mundani. Look at Lebialem. How many subdivisions are there? The whole place is a forest because individuals do not think they're fighting for the same goal. Some are kings, some are princes, some are emperors. I wonder now. I wonder. This is what is going on. The Mundani took a different dimension until I washed my hands off it. I told Mama Amber I'm no longer in it. You have somebody inside APLM who went and created his own armed group because he thinks he wants to compete with Akwanga. And the competition has led to the slaughtering of innocent young men and women. Some might not even be innocent, but they are to arrest your brother, bury him alive, or just disappear and kill him. Which land are you going to live? That you kill your own brother like that, which land will you live? And then you people are debating over it. Simply because young men from Mundani who became so jealous of Akwanga thought that if Akwanga runs a self-defense here very well, they will not have belt in the village. You can see the reason why some people are in this struggle. They want to protect their houses, their stores, their ties that they have done. That is their reason for fighting and being involved. Some, I remember I used to go to Bichati when I want to talk about this struggle. Some of these young men were scared. They don't come closer to me because they knew I was dangerous. Hey, I had the UN flag. The flag that these people brought from the UN that they said they were given by the UN. I don't want to go there now. That flag was with me. Are the same people who know how to run self-defense. Now, Bichati has his own. Whether they have killed all them, I don't know. Bisali has his own. The one in Gang went and joined another group somewhere. Then you find the one that is up there in Bamboo area. Another one young man took it there who has been fighting power and thinking that the only way to compete with Akwanga is to create a group. They have been fighting and killing one another. Many of you have not heard of these killings. You heard about the one of Batibo? Because maybe my brother was involved and his name is too sweet to people wanted to talk about it. That's my brother. The one who said I should come to Norway and did what he did. And when I came, he jumped through the window and allowed me in his death. But Bob was drinking because of him. When I died, there was peace. He has gone. Whether he has gone to rest, we don't know. Nobody is talking again. And we know the role that most of us played in killing him, as we have helped to kill some of our other brothers and sisters over nothing. Over nothing. That is Munani. I don't even know the general population of Lebialem. Munani, 8 villages. They are torn apart. How many groups? It was Sokadef alone. Everybody said they must create that. Why? No, we need an IG group here. We cannot allow Dr. Akwanga to run something. Now they are slaughtering themselves. You go to the Nwe side, where you have two subdivisions. It's in Tatars, fighting one another. Instead of us saying we should develop our land and turn it to the little Switzerland in the new Amazonia, we have tore it into pieces, where we have reverend pastors who pray for people to die in prison. Those are the ones who make friends with. They pray every day for somebody to die. Men and women of God, we make them our friends. Okay? We find people who come out. In fact, they make us to doubt whether the Bible even actually are the words of God in it. That is what they have thrown into us now. They have thrown into us. If not how satanic La Republic is, I can assure you they would have taken advantage. But they are so satanic that they live in the Hades, the deepest part of hell, that you can give them 20 eyes, they will not see anything. We are responsible for delaying our own freedom. We are responsible. We even have our own brothers. Anything they tell us that they need to work with the others, and you ask some of the why are you federalists? No, we have lived with these people for too long. My girlfriend is Bamleki, my boyfriend is Bassa. We have lived with these people for too long. Makanana, you can speak bonjour, you can speak comment ça va. Oh yes, you dance Grace Decker and all the other names. I don't even know who they are now over there. So now, because of these things, you no longer want peace. The peace that will allow you to choose for yourself. The music that you even listen, they choose it for you. How many of your own musicians will they play on their own television? So when somebody keeps doing one and the same thing, they play music, the same music which comes from their own area until you start loving it and hating your own. That is how some of you can dance Bikusi more than Bangalore. You dance it more than Bangalore. Some of you come and see some of you people dancing the Bassa dance. You bring Monique in there, they will not be able to shake the buttocks. Malay even they are forgotten. Obasinjom Nyankwe, all those things are strange now. Tradition thrown into the window, away. You are running corridors of Yaoundé. You are chasing files. You don't want a system where you will be in peace, where everything is computerized. Not every man according to his or her ability. No, you don't want that system. You want a system of crookery, of stealing, of fraud. which some of you are still doing. That is the system you want. Oh, who is Dr. Akwanga? He thinks that is who? Some people are just angry. This small boy is coming from where? He was a small boy who stood when you were not there. When you were chasing a doctorate degree, a professorship. When you were even working for La Republique. You were looking for contact from them. He was a small boy. How many of you in North America did we contact? We reached out that give us our land. This was in the early 90s. And what response did we get from you? You said you were SDF. You don't want anything that will bring war. Today you come in, you want to lord it. And when you even come in, what advice do you give us? You make sure we are fighting ourselves. So that you can succeed in causing chaos. I play this music not because I'm too like. I play this music because I'm holy. I'm a sinner, a very big one. I don't even know if they have to take where I will stand. That is why I keep seeking the face of God. But I don't do it as some of you people are doing it. I play this song to remind me of my roots, to ask me constantly a question which I cannot answer because it's rhetorical. What is my purpose here on earth? To each one of you, what is your purpose? To accumulate wealth, to cause confusion, to divide family, to break homes, to break brothers and sisters, spare them, put them apart? Or your purpose on earth is to be prepared to do the right thing, to stand for your people, just for your people, and then by so doing you stand for yourself. When you are in the village, you have a television on your own alone with a generator, and the rest are using bush lamp, and there is a football match of higher proportion taking place. What do? Don't you open your door and call the children, some of them without pants, some of them with trousers with holes all over, some of them young girls whose chests are bare, some are standing by their window, others you ask them to sit on the floor to watch that match because you cannot watch it alone. You cannot watch it alone and be shouting every time maybe there is a good move or there is a goal. You want others to come and enjoy with you? True or false? How many of you don't do that? You don't do that in your villages when you go to the village. But just imagine if everybody in that village was having a generator and a television. Because you do not want to be the only one who is called a king. You want everybody there to also feel that they are kings. How important and how nice would be the name of that village? Put yourself in that situation and let that village be Ambazonia. Don't tell us how, if you all can come together and work together. Ask yourself what you have done to make sure the people don't work together. So don't come here and tell us, oh doctor, how can you people come together? What can we do? What have you done to separate them? The people that you have helped to separate, have you first gone to them to apologize, to tell them you are sorry for the part you have played, and now you want to make amends? Have you been able to come and apologize to your own people who are watching you? Even if there are 10 followers you have, 10 or 5, that I am sorry I misled you people. This is the right approach. We must do this together. Have you done that? Have you? What advice do you give? If your husband or your wife is going to take the wrong option, you'll be scared to tell them because you think they will refuse you food in the evening or even at night when you are sleeping. Why have we forgotten where we come from? Why have we become a people who cherish death? We enjoy it. I'll never have believed that we will reach a level where we will become experts only in sharing videos and pictures. Even the ones that they have cut off people's head. There is no outcry. There's no outburst. Every argument is the same thing Saddam Hussein did when he wanted to slaughter the Kurds. Every argument is the same La Republique is doing. When they arrest our young men and women from the homes, put them in trucks, they are never taken to Yaoundé, to Bafoussam, to Douala, to Boya. They are executed and buried. And today Yaoundé find it so difficult to release the prisoners because they will not be able to account for those that they executed summarily and buried in mass graves. That is why they are unable to release the prisoners. How many of you have been in this position? How many of you give 24 hours to work for this struggle, to sit and take a day and only reflect and say, oh my God, what can I do? What have I done? How many of you? How many of you spend your time, you are only plotting evil? Okay, now we need to do this. Now, what is our next step to bring down Dr. Akwanga? What will be the next issue? Can we create a picture somewhere? Can we fake a video? Can we take one of his old videos where maybe he was standing against Comrade X or Comrade Y so that they can pit themselves against one another? We put it out there, we throw it. How do you forward the struggle by doing that? Oh, he said this against Comrade this. Oh, he exposed this. No, that was the moment. And there was a purpose for saying that particular thing. No, you need to put it together to do what you call a montage. Not of the killings by La Republic, the fire burning, the incineration of octogenarians in our land. You are putting these pictures, these videos, because you want to stand against another Ambazonia. That is all that you are doing. You pick all things, all stuff. Oh, Princess this year in whether it's in Boston said this. Oh, this one said it. Everybody becomes an expert. People don't even know the limit. People don't know the limit. This thing is not about money. It's not whether you're a pharmacist, you're a medical doctor, and you're making so much money. You've got so much money and contract. This is about what God has given to you, or what our forefathers have bestowed. That take this and free our people. If you don't have that, you will die before that day freedom will come. I can assure you that. It is fighting all over. A small problem is in prison. Rather than us looking for a way to solve it and say, oh, these are brothers, they are in prison. Even if the worst comes to them, I'm telling you, it's the same situation in prison. How many of you have helped to deepen the wounds amongst them? You go in, you want to take position. You want this one to stand this way, you want this to stand. How many of you have done that? How many of you are guilty of taking these positions, of showing how much you love comrades, or you love comrades so much? How many of you? I have brought down myself. Work with people who I remember my own brother in Abuja, in a press conference, responsible for organizing, invited me in that press conference, and I told them I'm not coming because when I come, the things I say there, they will not like it. It will jeopardize it. They say, no, you are one of the men in this trouble. You don't come to Nigeria, you don't come to this conference. I carried my two legs, went to that press conference. When I started talking about self-defense, Comrade Ayok seized the microphone from me and said, that will not be spoken here. They don't want war. They are not involved in it. Then tell me how happy I was when they started with DOD and all the other stuffs. Was DOD out to counter me and Sokadev, or was it actually out to liberate our land? Those are the problems we are facing. Because who the Comrade Ayok? You will not say, oh, Comrade Ayok is only 100% right. Comrade Akwanga was wrong. I was with him in JHS Manfe. No. But why should you only look at the errors? I only bring this as an example that if I was like some of you, I would not even want to talk to my brother, Comrade Ayok. He disgraced me. He invited me and disgraced me. He was like setting me up in front of everybody. It ended because I walked out of the hall. The journalists knew me than him who was sitting there and every other person in that hall. Though they live in Nigeria and work in Nigeria. That is how it goes. So these are the problems. I have always insisted that if we don't fight, we will never ever achieve anything. Nobody has ever given credit to Dr. Akwanga. I don't even need your credit. Everybody takes the credit today. Who could talk about it? This guy is mad. What is he talking about? On Facebook, you want people to carry guns and kill themselves? Then in China, they started creating self-defense groups. Self-defense groups which they gave to Divine, who became a manslaughter Indian. And when Divine died, they shifted him now to become an Akwanga soldier. The very Divine who went to kill Sokadefias became an Akwanga soldier. That is what you people are doing. They created Ekeko. Ekeko became more of an armed robber. He's thinking of his Nigerian roots and his Ambazonian roots. He's more of his Nigerian roots. I can't even call him a warlord. And we know him, sponsored by some of us. We are so desperate for notice that we will take any criminal, any hardened criminal, any murderer, and use as one of our soldiers. Because we are so desperate to be noticed. We are seeking for notice so much. This is not how Akwanga was known. I was known by doing these things on the ground. I was not known by seeking for these things. If you want to be noticed, do your job for the people. Even if the people don't talk, I can tell you that history will not forget. Do your job. Think about the people first. I went to the UK. The SCNC group there became fake. It became a problem between me and them. When I want to correct them that this thing is not all about Dr. Akwanga is mad and the rest. Today what is going on? Everybody is champion. One group here, one group there, one group this way. When we create all these groups, why are we not saying that there's a lot of confusion? Before we were creating these groups, were there no groups? How many did we join? We could not join those groups because there will not be leaders. We wanted something that we would lead ourselves. Commander-in-chief, you are happy. You have two people fighting on the ground, you're commander-in-chief. Some of you have proxies. You were using my young man, the Nambere. You know Nambere, you knew him. So when this thing happened with Nambere, I never spoke. I knew it was coming because Nambere complained time and time again how he was promised and nothing was being delivered. I saw it coming. I was watching. He knows. I never told him to fight for me. He never fought for me. He was never my fighter, but he was an Ambazonian fighter. And for that, I credited him at that time. He can testify. I'm the last person who ever told him, come and fight for me. I don't ask anybody to fight for me. I'm not going to tell somebody's son to come and die for me. Who am I? Die for Ambazonia. Let it be a choice. Let it not be me recruiting you. Am I paying you? I'm recruiting you to fight for what? I'm recruiting you to fight for what? But that is what we are doing. And now when he did what he did, which was already the handwriting was on the wall, we were all crying foul. We don't even know the problem. In like this man, we don't have the same heart. Some of us have chicken hearts. Chicken hearts. That is why some of us are so scared. If Yaoundé call, we are panicking. And some of you are right. You have the right to say some leaders should not even talk to Yaoundé because maybe they are too weak. They will just give up. They might even go there and start answering yes, sir. Yes, sir. Instead of speaking in a position of strength. When you are a man or a woman and you know what you are convinced of, you will not be scared to talk to anybody. Come on. Who's going to convince you? You stand your arms. You have principles. I didn't go to prison to come and negotiate for $30,000 as this other young man was spreading the news, or for even $100 million or $500 million. At the time in the University of Boya, I would have swept all the money from the student union account and flew abroad after they were looking for me to go and look for asylum. I stayed in the land, and that is how the SCY was created. You find young boys and young girls who cannot even wear their pants. They come out today because you know how to read and write. You just go and spread anything. The woman who championed the peace process in Northern Ireland made a statement that the violence of the mouth is as dangerous as the violence of the guns. What some of you people have done, the way you have tricked some leaders, you have deceived them. Even in times they want to think on their own, you pump them. How can I? There are some leaders you can't really blame them. Is that you people know what some of these people are going through? Some of you put them stories in their ear. You will build stories, you lie, you will feed it, you will throw it, you are poisoning them. You all become Iago. You know the story of Iago, Othello, Rodrigo, Desdemona. That is what you people are. Iago, you build stories, and then when they are attacking the leaders, you are there the other way. You have fake names. You are helping your own way now to defend the leaders. Use fake names to attack other people. When you use those fake names, I don't know how many soldiers of La Republique you bring down that day, or their bridges and their criminal enterprise in our land. That is it. And let me tell people something. Those of you who go to church, go put your knees on the ground and pray. If you pray fervently, God will tell you who He has apportioned to free this land. Put your knee on the ground and pray fervently. Don't pray with bias. But if you already have bias, don't even start the prayer, because prayer is going to be something unconscious mind. Like you sleep in the night and you just get up because you love Dr. Akwanga so much, you say you saw Dr. Akwanga walking in the high skies. I mean, pray. You know what I mean by praying? It's not easy. You will see it with your own eyes. You've become like the Israelites who told God that we need a king. And you got him angry. He gave them a king when he was not happy. And the consequence of that was terror in the land. Don't you know that story? Those of you who can read the Bible from your fingertips, you can quote it from left to right, but you cannot practice a single principle of the Bible. You do the opposite. At least you will know that one, because they say even the devil knows how to quote the Bible. This is where we are today. This is the problems we are facing. You don't know Akwanga. You misrepresent him, you misquote him, you misinterpret him. If I ask any one of you who come and say, Dr. Akwanga did this, I say, give me your evidence, explain yourself. You will see how they all become stammerers. If they don't become stammerers, they become students of a Fata Institute for the deaf in Kumba. Or blue blind. You say, sorry, doctor, I did not see it. You are in the blue blind center in my 17. Because we anger, which of course is justified, without even putting the tactical part of our head in it, where we need to reason. We will prolong this. It will move from high intensity, not even to middle, to low intensity, before we want to bring it to middle and take it to high intensity. A people who care about would have done whatever it takes. Some of you will say, oh, why can't we head the economic lifeline and the rest? What have you done to head the economic lifeline than to cause chaos? What have you done? You think it's $100? Or you think that when you want to put the contribution, you go and make noise online? It is this money you people are contributing that you want to take to free a homeland? Where have you seen they do that? Even when the Eritreans were collecting money, you think they were just doing it in this way? Some of you just want to reinvent the wheel, all just because you want to seek for notice. You don't want to learn what others have done and bring it into our own method, and then reshape it to suit our particular situation. You want to reinvent the wheel so that they should know you. People are just contented to become director of this, chief of this, secretary of this. I am head of this. Contented. By the time you finish saying, I'm director of this, 4 Ambazonians are dead. Killed by La Republique. Maybe even betrayed by La Republique among us. Your brothers and sisters in Yaoundé, the only thing that protects is their stomach. They are thinking that me and some others want to become the new prime minister and members of government. They have not sat for 1 second and asked themselves, what exactly are these our brothers and sisters fighting that we cannot see? All what they see is their positions. We want to take their post. We want to become the new elites in town. Hey, who want to become an elite in a Nyongo society? How can you go to Famla and become an elite there? You not enjoy life. You all know people who are accused that they belong to Famla, they don't live a free life in the society. That everywhere you are passing, people are pointing finger. Look, that man, so that man, this one, I wish man, he keep people for society. Whether it is true or false, but you cannot live a free life. Even if you have money, you have things. Every time you are entering the car, you are guilty. You stop somewhere to buy even beer and up license, you might be entering. Some people are walking away. Who want that type of life? That all this fight we are fighting like this to become director of civil cabinet, prime minister of the republic, and this? Is that what we are fighting for? Inside Nyongo society, you go take position. You be chief priest. You declare. I will speak to you people next week. So before I go, as I said, I'll speak to you people next week. For full disclosure, I talk to a number of countries. And when they talk to me, they don't talk to me as president of Ambazonia. I don't need a title of president. That's the simplest thing I can do. I can just put that before my name. But that is not freedom. They know who I am. So they will speak to me. It is not what any of you will put out there that matters. It is what they know and how they know what to do. I've told you people in full disclosure, I speak with the UN. It is not for public view. They come to me, we'll have meetings. It is not low-level meetings with the UN. It is high-level meetings. I talk to the French. La République Française, I speak with them. They come to me, I communicate with them. And I make the position of Ambazonia very clear. I've talked to the Russians. If there is any one group I've not spoken to, are the Chinese. I talk to everybody. Because I will do whatever it takes to free my homeland. At no time do I think I'm committing a crime. And at no time do I think every one of you is going to like me or love me. Or that I will do this because I want to become your prime minister tomorrow or your president that you will appoint me. I've told you people time and time again, when Ambazonia comes, if I come, don't vote for me. If you hate me so much, don't vote for me. Achieving Ambazonia will be my greatest wish. Achieving that lasting peace, a permanent positive peace, is all I want. I will talk to whoever I want to talk to. And I've told Yaoundé, if I will talk, my doors are open. I will listen to them and they will listen to me. But they will not negotiate with me alone. They will negotiate with the people of Ambazonia. They will negotiate with the Ambazonia coalition team and any other Ambazonian who is part of that team. That is how it is going to be. No one is going to stop me. And if they come and ask my advice who to talk to or who they want to talk to, I will always tell them, go ahead and do it. Let individuals judge themselves whether they have the capacity to talk to these people. But let them know that if you do not talk to the enemy, and do not talk to the other enemy, there will never be peace. Not even the half peace they want, or the complete peace you and me are looking for. A permanent positive peace. So, in a nutshell, if you are a true Ambazonian, you are an apostle for peace. Every true Ambazonian who is in this fight deserves a Nobel Peace Prize. You might think I'm crazy in saying this, because it is only peace, seeking real peace, that ever pushed us in 1997 to carry arms. It is seeking real peace that we saw that opportunity in 2016 and said the moment has been reignited. Let us take hold of it and run with it. But in seeking this real peace, we should be faithful. We should be very, very careful. Otherwise, us, not them, will turn real peace into pieces. You might not like me, but heed to what I'm saying. You might never have another tomorrow. May God bless you.